Monday night, it's good to be back. If you are like me and you traveled somewhere over the long holiday weekend, welcome back to all of you and congratulations on successfully navigating construction season. Now, normally I would be talking about those of you who are driving somewhere, but this summer, even airplanes at our airport are dealing with big detours. Kent's on the show to explain what's going on and how it can impact you.
Yeah, Jana, this started about a month ago when the airport shut down 2 of its 4 runways for reconstruction. But at times, including late last week, they've had just a single option. And many of you have shared the impacts. Laura writing on X today, 10 minutes of circling on my flight last Wednesday because of only one runway. Heather added on Facebook, we flew out on Friday and had the same thing, one runway. We were there, the 17th plane in line to depart, waited over an hour to actually get off the ground. Now, this is all happening at a time when July and August are shaping up to be the busiest 2 months at MSP since before the pandemic. So I went there today to find out what's going on and what to expect in the weeks ahead.
If you think road construction season is maddening in Minnesota right now, chances are you haven't been stuck in runway construction at MSP.
This is not minor maintenance.
Jeff Lee with the Metropolitan Airports Commission says even though they're in the midst of the busiest summer in 5 years, it's been 15 years since the airport has had to do a major rebuild of runways, and the time to get it done is now.
It's like building a brand new portion of the runway, and we have to do it over the summer months because that's when we have the time to do it and less weather impacts.
Since cutting the amount of runways in half in June, he says the average taxi time has grown to about 20 minutes.
It's about 10% more delays than it was a year ago without airfield construction, so it hasn't been major.
But it can become major when weather limits takeoff and landing to just a single runway.
It's just a numbers game.
Kyle Potter, editor of the Thrifty Traveler, says it's no surprise that weather issues on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of July led to much longer waits on the ground and in the air for those waiting to land.
They have so many flights to get out every hour, every day, and when things start to stack up and there's only one runway to get them in and out of, something has to break. And what breaks is, people wind up delayed by hours or more.
Because runway availability can change so quickly with the weather, he says there's little anyone can do to avoid the wait, though he says avoiding peak times and days can improve your odds.
So, we know based on looking at the data that, there are more flights taking off and landing on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays than there are throughout the rest of the week. So that is when I would at least expect to see some more problems, just because, again, it's a numbers game.
According to the airport's latest numbers, 1 month in, they have only had to go to a single runway 8% of the time.
The FAA, the MAC, and airlines are talking daily about how to work through some of these challenges.
And there is reason for hope, considering the project will be done by September. And last year, MSP was again ranked #1 among global airports for timely flights.
It is a marvel how efficient our airport is. And eventually the bill comes due, and the bill is coming due this summer, where, in order to make sure that it is an efficient, timely airport, they have to take care of their runways. So unfortunately, this is the price we pay for having one of the best airports in the country. They have to take care of their runways, and they have to do it this summer.
Speaking of that, this project is set to officially wrap up by September 21st. And even though that could lead to more time on the plane, airport officials are also asking everyone to give themselves more time to get to the plane. It's because the volume of traffic we talked about this summer and all the road construction to navigate on the way to the airport, Jana, we're going to bring it full circle. The road construction.
Exactly. So, Kent, I have never won in any sort of gambling, lottery, anything, but I feel special. I and my family were part of that 8%. We got to be on those days where it was just one runway, and the airline did a great job, the airport did a great job, but it really was a trip. You left the gate, and then it was, taxiing's a great word, because it felt you were just like riding around in a taxi on the runway, waiting your turn, one by one by one.
Absolutely. And again, the airport says this is air traffic controllers' job. They're doing everything they can. And really, even on those 3 days, it was just several hours in those 3 days because they try to get those 2 open as much as possible.
All right, Kent, thanks.